Yes, Namaste and Hari Om everyone. We are starting the class. Uh, right, let's start. Om Narayana Paro Vyaktat Andam Avyakta Sambhavam Andasyantastu Me Loka Saptadvipa Chamedini Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, so Hari Om Ji. We are seeing chapter 4, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, and we have seen till verse 13. Probably this. Yes. And 14. We have seen 13 and 14 already. And he says here, Krishna says, I have created, and as per the law of creation, call it a niyam, you can't have a creation without a creator. The intelligent being has to be there for a creation to happen. Just as if one sees a pot, then pot is a creation. But without the potter, the one who makes the pot, without Kumhar, this is not possible. You cannot have a pot. With the same logic, human beings are always trying to figure out how to conclude, how to decide, how to understand creation. And with reference to that, they are always searching. What could be the right answer? What would it be that would give us the knowledge of creation? Keeping that in mind, whatever we know is what we stick to. What we know is that a pot is made, and when a pot is made, then there is a maker of the pot. In the same way, when creation is made, there is a creator. That's as much as it is. Difficult to read. Sorry, Ji, I won't be able to read your comments. For any question, you may have to come to join the class, or you will have to come to YouTube. I forgot to charge, so in the charging mode, this does not allow me to read the comments. My apologies for that. So he says, I am the creator, and as a creator, it is understood there must be the bhav of creation. Maine kiya. For any creator, today we call them content creators. For any creator word, content creators, then there are artists, there are similar. You would want to know, you have them at the bottom written. This is piece is created by so and so, or this is composed by so and so, or this one is the creator, etc. This is just the basic outline. Everybody knows this. We don't need vyakhyan on this. That a creator would imply that that creator has a karta bhav. That's the point where Shastra tells us to think. Creator has a karta bhav is a presupposition in our buddhi, in our understanding. If there is a creation, there is a creator. And if there's a creator, he would have the knowledge, even the knowledge that I have created, and he will have the arrogation of that. This is my doing. My doing itself means there is arrogation of the action done, which we call in our language aham kar. Aham is me, I. To assert it is ahankar. It's actually aham kar. For all of us, I think we know the Sandhi rules now. The ma followed by ka becomes the ga. So it becomes ahankar. That's how we hear it. What is it actually? Aham kar. Aham ko karna. जो करता है अहम को, अहम 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 कर रहा है, वो अहंकार है. So Bhagwan says, as jivas, as individuals, when we see creation and we ask, who is the creator? He says, know me to be the creator. You can rest your mind over there. You don't have to explore any further. Know me to be the creator of this creation. Well, good. If you are the creator, I have a part of my answer, but then you would be arrogating your creation like I arrogate my creation. To which Bhagwan says, and that is the teaching part, that you take me to be the creator is going along with our thinking. How we would suppose, how we can stretch our thought up to what is possible in a human intellect to think. And in a human intellect to think is, for every creator, the creation would have an ahankar. Creator would have an ahankar. For every creation, creator would have an ahankar. This much Bhagwan goes along with us. It's a shastric way of also conveying a point which is subtle. हाँ, अगर आप ऐसा सोचते हो तो हाँ, ठीक है, लेकिन the minute they say lekin, but, then starts the teaching which my human intellect cannot arrive at. What is the teaching here? He says, yes, I go along. If you question who's the creator when you contact creation, take me to be the creator. I have created this. I have created the Chaturvarnyam, means I have created Prakriti. Prakriti is gunas, and gunas is making the Chaturvarnyam, the gradation. Know me to be the creator of all this division that you see here. Taratamyam is the right word. Gradation that you see here, not division, but gradation according to one's capacities and qualifications, according to one's own personal capacity and personal quality is the variation. Variation is the right word. It's a variation scene. We are varied here. As in a garden, you see, you have a variation there of flowers, of plants. Each one of them is unique, but together a garden is created. Exactly the same way Bhagwan says, this creation, I am the one who's provided all the material that makes the creation. I am the one who's given the water, the sun, the air, the earth, fire. I am the one who's in me, by me, is the whole Srishti. And you can rest your intellect over there. You don't have to go inquiring further. Take me, Ishwar, to be Ishvara, to be the creator. Now, that Ishvara, he says, while I am the creator, know me not to be bound by my creation. I remain free of that creation. I don't have any doership in that creation. I don't own up that creation. I'm not saying I am the karta of this. I don't have any such bhav of karta. From the understanding of Ishvara, why doesn't he have a bhav of karta? Because the creation is meant for us, for jivas, for their gati. So he says, I am only giving you karma phal. I in no way am arrogating it. So by this variation, I'm providing a system, I'm providing an environment where this variation can all express themselves. Like you have in a university, you have so many streams of knowledge together. That's called a university, where you have individual colleges of lot of streams, which each one to their inclination can join, but they will all come under one university. In the same way, this variation of life forms that we see, and in particular in the human form that we see, all this variation is under one Ishvara. Know me to be the Akarta and Avyaya. I do not in any way undergo any change to make a creation. Like for a pot, you have the creator, an intelligent cause. You also have material, clay, and that clay undergoes a modification. So he says, if I am the creator of this, what is the material? That material is me, my Prakriti. But as Prakriti undergoes its variation, I remain undifferentiated, non variated, unvariated. What is the right word? I do not go through any change at all. I remain changeless. Then he said, understand that that's the teaching part. From acceptance that I am the creator, you can utilize that acceptance for your growth. How? By improving your actions, by improving your bhav. Connect yourself to me, the creator. You can accept that. It'll bring you to your own swarup, swabhav. By knowing me, the creator, you will also come to understand that me is actually inhering over here, and that over here, what he means as me there is him residing here, enlivening this body, making it all conscious, knowledgeable, and as he remains here, he remains a karta and he remains avyaya. And that akarta and avyaya that he is here, know that to be yourself. One who knows himself like that also gets freed from the cycle of karma. And so he said, karmas have no bandhan on me, they don't bind me. Because the reason is, I have no attachment, no spriha, no yearning, trishna for any karma phal. This much we studied yesterday. We saw this in the Bhashyam. And just quickly taking over, Madhusudanji doesn't give an elaboration over here on, I think, any point other than what Shankara has said, Bhashyakar has said. So we can quickly just go through it because it asserts the meaning. Karmani. What is that karmani? It's actions, karmas. In those karmas, which are those karmas? Vishwa Sargadini. Sarga means creation. Creation of the Vishwa, the world, cosmos. We call that itself creation. So Sargadini means emergence of a creation. Emergence of the world is called creation. Sarga means utpatti, birth, manifest, emergence. Adi means emergence, maintenance, etc., dissolution, the whole creation cycle. That is called karma of Ishvara, his karma. He says, Mam nirahankarattvena. It's done without any ahankar. By being free of ahankar, what does that mean? Kartritva abhimana heenam. Those two words give us more clue. What is that? Nirankarattvena. He says that is kartritvaheen and abhimanaheen. You can take them as synonyms, and if you want more clarity, you take them separate. The kartritva bhav itself is the abhiman, no doubt. But abhiman has its own meaning. Without abhiman, without kartritva, take them together is also fine. Kartritva abhimana heenam, without sense of doership and sense of arrogation. In whom? Bhagwantam. Na limpanti. It does not smear. Bhagwan says, because I am Nirankara, therefore, deha arambhakatvena na pathananti. Therefore, there is no material, no cause generated for a new cycle to emerge. I am not bound in the cycle of creation because I am freed of Kartritva and Abhiman. So, emergence of the creation does not bind me. Evam Kartritvam Nirakritya. Nirakritya means negating it. Once Kartritvam is negated, Bhoktritvam Nirakaroti. Even Bhoktritvam gets negated. So if I don't have Kartritvam, I don't have Bhoktritvam. Because I am not the Karta of an action, then where is the Bhoktritvam going to come? I will not be the enjoyer of any result in that sense. Nirakaroti name mama. Who am I? Me is mama. Na karma phale spriha. I have no karma phal spriha. And what is that? Me, mama, mera. Who am I? Aptakamasya. Why do I not have? See, that little word gives more meaning. Why do I have no spriha for phal? Why do I yearn for no phal, no phal? Why do I have no spriha for any phal? Because I am apta kama. Apta kama means one who is fulfilled, जिसकी सब कामनाएं पूर्ण हैं, पूर्ति हो गई है, who is completely fulfilled of all desires. Apta kam, who is accomplished everything that needs to be, all purusharths have been accomplished, which means मोक्ष, मुक्त है, वही मोक्ष है जिसका अब कोई कामना नहीं है. Who is a mukta purusha? A mukta purusha means he has no more yearning, no more wishing, no more desiring, no more uh, yearning, no more yearning. He is freed. So Bhagavan says, I have no phal spriha. See how if you follow the Shastra, your buddhi also develops. How? We may have left it at that. We accept it. Because he has no karma phal spriha, he has no kartritvam, so he is not bound. And Bhagavan says, those who know me like this will also not be bound by karma. Accepted, we can move on. But then you pause and think, how come by knowing him like this will I get freed? Then the Vyakhya comes of the Acharyas and they explain, when you know him like this, Acharya says, you also know yourself as Aham Akarta, Aham Abhokta iti. When you also know yourself, then you get freed. So you also do your karma without kartritvam and bhoktritvam, then you will also get freed. Understood? But then why does he not have any spriha? We may say he's Ishvara, that's why he's Ishvara. No, he doesn't have any spriha. Why is he called Ishvara? Because he's apta kamaha. Apta kama means he's ever fulfilled. जिसकी सब कामना पूर्ण हो गई है, उसमें अब कामना का स्कोप नहीं है. There is no possibility of a kamna, of a desire emerging, because the final purusharth, which the four purusharths are the four indicators of four kinds of desires, kamna that we can have, artha, artharthi, jignasu, jnani. These are the four desirers we saw in the past. Four kinds of desires. And accordingly, whatever purusharth we do, if I do purusharth to relieve my suffering, artha. If I do purusharth to earn wealth and security, artharthi. If I have purusharth, desire for jignyasa, I do purusharth for my jignyasa, I get fulfilled at jignyasa, and then moksha. If I have a desire for moksha, my purusharth is for moksha. So the four purusharths are actually helping us understand the four fundamental desires that human beings have. And these people who have, means human beings who have these desires, they are anapta kama. Anapta means not yet fulfilled. They don't have a sense of completeness. They don't have a sense of fulfillment. Contrasting it is Ishvara. He says, I am Purnam. मैं ही सब हूं. जब मैं ही सब हूं, I'm whole, Purnam. Purnam, I'm complete. Therefore, there is no possibility of a desire in me. My creation is not out of my emptiness. As you say in some religions, it's said Bhagwan was getting bored. Bhagwan was lonely. It's not acceptable. Bhagwan was lonely. Bhagwan felt alone, so he made the counterpart. Sorry to say. No. Bhagwan, if he has to feel lonely, then we should meet in a coffee table, on a coffee table. Bhagwan is Bhagwan. Lonely is only our connotation. Our interpretation. We have the bhav, and whatever we project on Bhagwan is me extended. That's not Bhagwan. When I see him as who he is and I extend that in me, that helps me to grow. I'll repeat this sentence. If what I am already and I project it on Bhagwan, it makes no difference. It doesn't help in any way. As a jiva, I feel lonely. And if I project that on Bhagwan and say, because Bhagwan is lonely, he created this creation, it makes absolute no sense, sorry to say. It doesn't help the jiva at all. It doesn't help us. But if I understand what Bhagwan is, and I see myself as that, means he is Poonam. That Poonam I see in myself, that helps the jiva to uplift himself. That's the approach of the Vedas. So when Ishvara is apta kama, means he's ever fulfilled, he's ever complete. That reflection itself will dismiss our sense of unfulfillment. Ishvara is apta kama. When you go meditate on that, Ishvara is apta kama. What is apta kama? The first time I heard the word was much after. When you start these traditional bhashyams, you get these words and the flavor starts to complete the perception, which otherwise on just the Moolam study doesn't get completed. Up the calm, just the thought and reflection of Atma काम, समझने की प्रयत्न कि आप द काम क्या हो सकता है, वो स्थिति ही सोचने की स्थिति, even thinking what is आप द काम shows us the contrast of what is anaptakam. That's how it helps. So when you go and meditate more and more on Ishvara being aptakam, that upasana, which is imposing a guna on Bhagwan, that guna ultimately is yours also. So there are two things that happen. He is aptakam, you either meditate, you do upasana on it, or you take the jnana prakriya and you think, what is aptakam? Your thoughts are engaged in aptakam, Ishwar's aptakam, and trying to understand that state itself uplifts you from your state of anaptakam. All the time wanting, all the time desiring, all the time feeling discontent, all the time, or at least sometimes, let's not say all the time, we are all students of Vedanta, but sometimes also. He says, know me. Why am I? By negating kartritvam, I negate bhoktritvam because I am aptakama. So karma phale na spriha. So I do not have any spriha in karma phal. That spriha is Trishna. And that Trishna and means a yearning, a desiring that I wish to know more. So he says, Apta kamasya kaspriha. That is also one of the Shruti Vakyas. It's in one of the Upanishads. Um, they also don't mention the reference. Apta kamasya kaspriha means the one who apta kami ka kya spriha ho sakti hai. Again, akshepartha prashna. It is not actual prashna. Means there is no desire in such a person. And a desireless state. Desireless state is all that we can understand of a desireless state is sleep. In sleep, I don't have desire. And what do I have when I don't have desire? I don't have desire in sleep. I have peace. I have shanti. But I'm not aware of who I am. It's not my conscious state. So I still have avidya, and therefore it gets broken. The peace gets broken, and my desire erupts again and puts me back into Deha Prapti, and I come back into waking state with an idea to fulfill my desire again. But a mumukshu will not be interested in saying, how do I fulfill my desire? In this waking state, today I have woken up by Ishwar's Anugraha, by Karma Phal. I still have another day. This day that I have woken up can be one of the days which can help me in any way towards understanding these fundamentals, which means I am Purnam, I am complete. So all my discontent of the day is meaningless, is like a swapna, is like a dream. That feeling khali, empty, etc., is all like a dream to an aptakami. So the contrast is seen by showing us who's aptakami. Then he says, कर्तृत्व अभिमान फल स्पृहाभ्याम ही कर्मणि लिम्पन्ति तत् अभावात् namam karmani limpanti. Though we have seen it, just repeating for reinforcement, kartritva abhiman phala spriha. In all of them, abhava, tat abhavat. उनके अभाव होने के कारण, that's why I'm highlighting this, it's summarizing it. What are the things that are absent? Kartritva is absent, abhiman is absent, phalaspriha is absent. Therefore, karmas do not taint me, do not bind me. That's what it means. Evam, in this manner, yaha, whoever, anyaha, koi bhi, jo bhi, koi bhi. That means koi bhi. What do we understand by koi bhi? Whoever. What do we understand? Does it mean you have to be born in India only? Does it mean you have to be Bharatiya only? Koi bhi means koi bhi. You could not even know the language, you may never have heard, but you could be reflective in your own language. You could be born in Timbuktu and speaking a completely different language, but your thoughts in that language, the topic of your thought and vichar is your Ishwar, and that Ishwar in your language is someone complete and whole, which ironically, unless until in your language it is taught the same way, it won't happen. So it boils down to why our culture holds this perception. Our culture means here in the Vedic culture, Ishvara's completeness is held in the language and then taught, as Krishna says, yuge yuge. So whoever knows himself also, api, mam, apne ko, mujhko. Mam means oneself. Mam akartaram abhoktaram cha. Knows oneself as a karta and a bhokta. Atmatvena apne aap ko. Abhijanati knows well. Abhi means that prefix says knows completely, well, clearly. Clearly is the right word. Knows clearly. Karma bihi na sabadhyate. They also do not have bondage of karmas. Akartrit, akarta atma jnanena. By the knowledge, see these small, small words give completeness. Akarta atma jnana. That jnana is the reason of knowing oneself as akarta. And that is why he gets freed. Muchyate. That is why he also frees himself. So, you know Ishwar as akarta, abhokta. There are two ways to approach Ishwar. One is through upasana, through your bhav. Upasana and bhav means a repetitive thought built on the object of whom you have done guna aropan. Aropan is imposing the guna. Those gunas you become at some point. It needs a lot of repetition, but persistent imposition of gunas, you also know it. So through upasana, you will have the jnanam, you will have the guna aropan. That guna aropan, that little bit knowledge will be needed, and that anugraha will take you to shravanam, and the minute shravanam's formed, you will know. Ultimately, it will be akarta atma jnanam. Jnanena, by that knowledge, muchyate, he gets freed. Iti artha. यतः न अहं कर्ता न मे कर्म फले स्पृहा इति ज्ञानात् कर्मभिः न बध्यते अतः therefore because knowing oneself by the knowledge that I am not a karta and I have no spriha, with that knowledge you do not get bound by karmas. Ataha, therefore, comes the next verse, which we will first see the bhashyam. So far, okay? Na aham karta na me karma phale spriha is the way in which one understands oneself while doing the actions, which is nishkam karma. Okay, so far?
जो आरोपण करना होता है वो basically what qualities should we say that ईश्वर is पूर्ण उसपे we need to मतलब आपके इष्ट देवता पे वो आरोपण करना है like all of those.
Yes. Whatever your uh, temperament is finding the word closest to you. So usko jab aap, that is why in every prayer and pujas and you have stuti. Stuti is what? Stuti of the deity. That stuti has aropan of the gunas. So those gunas itself, jnana, aishwarya, whatever you want in completeness, whatever brings you to it. So you say Bhagwan is all knowledge. Bhagwan is ever present, omniscient, omnipresent, ever free, Anandam, Purnam, all of that. That's an Ishwar. Otherwise, as in local, I'm calling them local deities, though not such a nice word, but limited. So in on Ganesha, you impose buddhi, knowledge, buddhi, wit, capacity to overcome obstacles. On Vayu, you impose dexterity, swiftness, purity, cleanliness, freshness, anything. So, any of those qualities, and any one in absolute measure means all the others are also complete, because that's what is called absolute. उसमें फिर अलग से कुछ और अभाव नहीं होगा. Anything in absolute will become Purna. Okay? So now we come to the 15th verse. No, sorry. 15th. Evam gyatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi kuru karmaiva tasmatvam purvai purvatarang kritam. एवं ज्ञात्वा कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात् त्वं पूर्वैः पूर्वतरं कृतम्. Evam, in this manner, In which manner? Aham karta, na aham karta, na me karma phale spriha. In this manner, gyatva, having known, jankar, gyatva, kritam karma, doing karma, do karma, kritam, karo, kritam, kritam, do karma. We are on 15th, 15th. So, kritam karma, doer. How? Purvaihi api mumukshubhihi. As the people in the past did. Purvaihi, pehle. Purvaj, those who have in the past also done. Who were those? The mumukshus. In the past, the precedents, the mumukshus, as they have done, you also do in the same way. Kuru karmaiva tasmat tvam. As they did, those mumukshus did actions in the past, knowing themselves to be akarta and without phal. Kuru. Kuru means tum bhi karo. You also do. Karma eva. In the same manner, do your karma. Tasmat tvam. Because they did tasmat, therefore, you also do. Tvam, kuru. I'll do this next last line, second line again. Tasmat, therefore. Tvam kuru. You also do. Eva karma, in the same way. How? Purvaihi purvataram kritam. As those in the past, those mumukshus did, you also do the karmas in the same way. We saw this in the previous verses also. As Janakadihi, those who have known Gyan, how they have acted, O Arjun, you also act. It's a repetition in a way. Idea is repeated to say that affirm again the importance of this knowledge. Nishkam karma. Only then you are supposed to, and you will reap the benefit of your purusharth, of your janam, human birth. You will get the benefit of it. So, very simple, nothing much in this. Evam gyatva kritam karma means this is the explanation, which is simple to understand. Evam gyatva kritam karma purvaihi api atikrantaihi. Atikrantai means those who have already gone in the past, means they have left the body. So, who are those? Mumukshubhihi. Kuru. Tena evatvam. You also do actions in the same way. But here Bhashyakar says, same way means what? Na tushnim asanam. What is tushnim? Anyone? What is tushnim? It's come before also. In the context of Karam Yoga, it came. Na tushnim. I'm repeating because it's an important word. It'll get registered. Hanji? No. Na tushnim. Do not have tushni bhav. Okay, I'm able to read, okay? No. Tushnim. What are the two things he had said you are supposed to abstain from? Do not fall for it.
Don't follow your indriya one.
Okay.
And don't do activities which are not allowed by the Vedas.
Right. Correct. And do not fall into inaction. Absolutely right. Akaram bhav. Tushni means akaram bhav. Nahi karna. Laziness. Avoiding doing what you are supposed to do. Yes. Inactivity, laziness, tamas, excellent. All of this is right. Akarma, right. Do not fall, do not become a prey to inaction. He said in the previous verse, do not fall a prey to inaction. Which verse was that? Where he said, O Arjun, do not fall prey to inaction. Na api sannyasah kartavyah. Beautiful line. I mean, जिंदगी का कोई रोड मैप होता है ना फॉर पीपल इन अविद्या दिस इज द रोड मैप दिस along with evam gyatva this is the road map rest of our life if we know nothing but if we are able to just do this na aham karta na me karma phale spriha and na tushni masanam na api संन्यासः कर्तव्य अपने कर्तव्यों का त्याग देना संन्यासः मीन्स गिविंग इट अप किसका गिविंग इट अप व्हाट इज योर कर्तव्य व्हाट यू ऑट टू बी डूइंग जो आपके करने का कर्म है उसको छोड़ देना त्याग देना और यू आर जस्ट नॉट डूइंग व्हाट यू आर सपोज टू डू आउट ऑफ इनएक्शन अकर्म में लगाव हो गया है you wait for others to do you wait for others to initiate you wait for others to take charge you want the fruit but only if someone else does it so that makes you feel at least I am not doing anything a lot of people have that false illusion delusion I would say thinking that doing a karta means not doing means if someone else does it's okay but I will not do and that's a beautiful balance he has shown na tushnim asanam baitho mat asana means do not sit without doing what you should be doing do not sit idle do not sit without action do not sit without doing what you're supposed to do do not sit idle is the right word do not sit idle neither give up doing what is your kartavya and that's a thin line and that's a balance along with without kartritvam and bhoktritvam. That is why he said karma yoga is also gyan yoga and is also skill in action. What was the verse? Skill in action? What is the verse? Skill in action? He said in karma yoga. My brain cells have all decaying. Skill in action. What did he say? What is the verse? Skill in action?
Samatvam yog uchyate.
No, that was samatvam. He said skill in action. This is the skill in action. If someone can remember, yogaha karma sukaushalam. That's right. Thank you. Yogaha karma sukaushalam. That kushalta in action. What is that verse number? Yogaha karma sukaushalam. That kushalta of action that he had spoken of was this there also. That is that kushal, that is that balance, that fine line on which we tread internally. While our physical body is kept in action, internally you have to be alert. Your buddhi is alert that I am not skipping what I need to do. I'm not idling away, not doing what I should be doing. And my kartavyas, I am, because they're tiresome or because of any other reason, like Arjun wants to give up his kartavya, take sannyas. His reason is because killing is ghor karma. Everyone can have their own reasons to give up their kartavya. At some point, you feel, I have done enough. Even those who stick to kartavya, at some point, you want to give it up. But what is the knowledge that we get? Kartavya you can only give up when you have accomplished what it has to give you. Doing your kartavya is only for your chitta shuddhi. And you can give up your kartavya after you have achieved that siddhi of it. Siddhi means accomplished the fruit of kartavya. What is the fruit of kartavya? The fruit of kartavya is you have chitta shuddhi. That now you have freedom to do or not to do that karma. You can continue to doing it, as he says, for the sake of others, or you need not do it because now you are up the karma. You have become qualified for, okay, Buddhi Yukta, verse 50, chapter 2. You're becoming qualified for knowledge. And for knowledge, you don't have to be bound by karta. Kartapan will become an obstacle for your assertion of knowledge. Atma is a karta. So you have to give up your karma at some point of time. But if you pre give it up means you give up, you take sannyas, not physical, I mean, even mentally, out of tiredness, out of fatigue, out of attachment, out of any of the reasons that we have. I just say, okay, I've done enough, I'm not doing anymore. But I am still attached to the fruit within. I haven't developed the Shuddhi to be able to have Vairagyam from the fruit. If that is the case, then my giving it up prematurely means karam abhi bhi lepa hua hai mujhe, karam phal se. I cannot say this word in any other way. It is stuck to me. My antakaran mein karam mere saath chipka hua hai. And if it is one with me, I will again have another. As the season changes, the seeds being there, it flowers again. The same way, I may give up my karma this moment, this life, but the seed being there, once again they'll erupt and put me back in the same cycle. So, what is the wisdom? The wisdom is stick to this one word is Nishkam Bhav. Explanation of Nishkam Bhav. If I were to ask, what is Nishkam Bhav? The word itself is so difficult to understand because we only know what is karma through kamana. Sakam ही समझ में आता है, निष्काम समझ ही कहाँ आता है. So unless until we see, have examples around us, either that or reflect and understand, or have an explanation as elaborate as Bhashyam or these acharyas give us, which clears our buddhi, gives us material to think and decide what is the way in which I have to act in the world. Ultimately, what is the bottom line? मुझे किस भाव से अपने कर्म करने हैं, मुझे किस भाव से अपनी जिंदगी को व्यतीत करना है. How should I spend my life, with what attitude? All the conflicts that arise while in transaction in life, how do I interpret them, or how do I react to them? How do I respond to them? How should my attitude be held? Where should I place my buddhi or my man? किसके साथ जोड़ के रखूं कि ये सब चीजें मुझे चिपके नहीं. लोगों की बातें, लोगों का कहना, लोगों का करना नहीं, ये सब मेरे मन अंतकरण को क्यों चिपकते हैं. If someone says something to me, why does it get stuck in my mind? That means I have some value for some fruit. Why should it be held in my mind? My mind should be held where? Where should my mind be held? By? Hanji? Very good. Bhaja Govinda. Correct. My mind should be in Bhaja Govindam. किसी ने कुछ कहा तो मेरे मन ने क्यों पकड़ लिया. किसी ने कुछ और कर दिया तो मेरे मन को, and how do you know what is stuck in your mind? Record playing. It goes on and on. चलता रहता है. What are you supposed to be and where are you stuck? The mind gets stuck. Not you, mind gets stuck. So he says, न तूष्णीम आसनम न अपि संन्यासः कर्तव्यः. Do not give up your karmas that have to be done, your obligatory duties. And everyone's a grahast, at least in this audience over here. Whoever's a grahast, you have lots of duties to do. And if you think you're qualified for higher state, you would be freed of your kartavya. They don't pick, they don't disturb. But avoiding the kartavya because they are troublesome will not free you in the long run. That's what Shastra says. So keep doing the kartavyas. Do not give them up prematurely. They will fall off. When they fall off, you're free. You know, as I said before, you know. And so, tasmat, therefore, tvam, you, purvaihi api, anushtitatvat, as they abided in, anushtan karte the, they followed it. They followed it. Anushtan karna means abiding in it, following it. It comes from the root stha. Stha means rehna, teherna, stay. So anushtan means staying with it, doing it. Yadi, why should you stick to doing your karmas? Again, he is repeating the same thing that he said before. Yadi agnyaha means anatmagnaha, means you think you are an atma. You have knowledge of you being anatma, means you being jiva. If you think yourself that you are a jiva, tada, then atma shuddhi artham. For the sake of atma shuddhi, chitta shuddhi, you should do your karma. Tattvavit chet. If you think you are an atma jnani, then loka sangrahartham, for the sake of loka sangraha, पूर्वैः जनकादिभिः पूर्वतरं कृतम्. As the Janaka Adi, Ashwapatti and others, the Gyanis, Karmyogis, Gyanis who did karmas, not Karmyogis, Gyanis who did karmas, doing their duties in their station of life, as they did, you also do. If you are an Agyani, do it for Chitta Shuddhi. If you are a Gyani, do it for Lok Sangraha. As simple as that. Na adhunatanam kritam nirvartitam. This is na adhuna kritam nirvartitam. Do not do it in a modern way. अधुना कृतम. अधुना मीन्स जो अब जैसे लोग करते हैं वैसे मत करो. हाउ डू यू एक्सप्लेन दिस? अधुना कृतम, अब लोग कैसे करते हैं? हाउ डू पीपल एक्ट नाउ?
They don't do it with their dil se nahi karte.
Okay, is that the Shastra's explanation? Dil se nahi karte, okay.
without applying buddhi.
Okay, without applying buddhi.
मतलब अपनी इंद्रियों को फॉलो मत करो ब्लाइंडली.
How do people do now? They do actions saying, why should I act on my duties? Why should I only be doing? Not Shastra Vihit. Correct. Right. In a nutshell, not Shastra Vihit. So they'll say, why should I only be doing duties? Ragadvesh based, now they do. Ahankar based, they do. Meri Marzi based, they do. So anything that is not Shastra Vihit, Adhuna Kritam means the modern approach to doing actions. self interest, um, ambition, all these ahankar based, you know, that he says, do not do your actions the way they are doing actions. You do your actions the way those people in the past who were mumukshus, they did their actions. It's an absolutely life changing. What do we always say? दुनिया तो ऐसे करती है, दुनिया में तो लोग ये कहते हैं, मगर दुनिया तो ऐसा है, हम तो दुनिया में रहते हैं, you know, कान पक जाता है ये सुन सुन के, especially when we come to the shastra vidya, and people will always say this, but we are living in the world, we have families, we दुनिया तो society तो ऐसे, society says this, society does this, society will follow this, therefore after all we are also living in a society, we should also be doing the same. Na adhuna kritam nirvartitam, because the society is going to get recycled into samsar. If you are a mumukshu, they are not mumukshu. If they are a mumukshu, follow them. Is society a mumukshu? Direct. They're mudas, very good. Yes, they are not mumukshu. They're like that chicken without a head. जो सब कर रहे हैं हमें भी करना है. That's it. Like I said, that example, following the line, blind leading the blind. The last person falls down the pit. Nobody knows where is everybody going. In the same way, everybody acts not knowing why they are acting, why they're earning money, what is the use of money, how should I spend money wisely, what is the use of family, who's the right, what is to be done once I have a family. Who's asking all this and who wants to know all this? Everybody has a family for their sake. For bhoktritvam, na adhuna kritam narvartitam. Beautiful contrast. Do your act. इससे ज़्यादा clarity कहाँ होती है? I do not know. I really do not know. Where else is more clearer perception for guidance to human beings given? Do not act based on your impulses, based on your senses, based on your gratification, which people do now. And this is written where? In the Bhagavad Gita. And when was Bhagavad Gita given? Before even Kali Yuga started. At that time also he is saying, Na adhuna krita. So that continues in time, which means as mumukshus worked, keep your attention on that, and you also work accordingly, O Arjun. Tatra karma chet kartavyam tvatvachanad eva karomi aham. He says, if this is, you've said it so clearly, if I should be working the way you say, your saying it is enough for me. Tvat vachanat, your words. Aham karomi, I will act on them, eva, only. Tatra karma chet, if I have to do, if I do work as you have said, I can do work as you have said. Kim visheshitena, then what is the special reason for saying purvaihi purvataram kritam? As others have done, so you do. Why have you brought in others, ancestors, mumukshus of the past? Why are you giving me their example? I have Shraddha in you. I accept what you are saying. I have Shraddha in Shastra. If you tell me that I have to act without Karta and without Bhokta, then I will act like that. Why are you bringing purvaihi purvataram kritam. Is the question clear to everyone?
जी
Answer is, and that's very important. Yes, Mark, because Mahat Vaishamyam Karmani. कर्मों में, in the context of the knowledge of karmas or with regard to karmas, Mahat, बहुत, huge, huge. Mahat is great. Vaishamyam. There are a lot of opinions and a lot of contradictory knowledges. Ultimately, it boils down to there's a lot of confusion regarding the topic of karmas. What is to be done? What is not to be done? Who should do what? Why is it to be done? When is it to be done? And should it be done? Forever is it to be done? Is it okay not to do? So, lot of confusion regarding karmas as a topic. So, purvaihi purvataram kritam is a way to say that reinforces the method with which they have attained moksha. Otherwise, karma has a lot of confusion. So, that is like a mm, sample piece. You know, as those Mukta Purushas, Jnani Purushas worked, that becomes a sample for us. That becomes a guidance for us. Otherwise, there is a lot of confusion with reference to karma as a topic. Okay, let's quickly see what he has said. Same thing, except he's just given us a few more names like Prabhritti Bhihi, Yayati are the names of those people, but absolutely the same. If you are an Agyani, Atmashuddhyartham. If you are a Gyani, Lokasangrahartham. Purvai Janakadibihi Purvataram iti Purvam Yugantare api kritam. Purvataram word, that extra meaning he is giving. Purvam means Yuga Antare. Even in the previous Yuga. That's how the knowledge is eternal, establishes it. Etan asmin yuge, anya yuge cha. So in this yuga and in another yuga also, purva purva taraihi kritatvat avashyam tvaya, by you. As they have done in every yuga, the same thing will apply. Therefore, by you, kartavyam karma iti darshayati. You should do your kartavya karma. So nothing new except for yuga yuga. Purvai means in every yuga, the same thing will apply. Okay. So, yeah. Nanu, now for the next verse, as we've just seen, karma vishaya kim kinchit samshaya api asti yena purvaihi purvataram kritam iti nirbadhnasi asti iti eva aha. Same introduction also. Why have you said purvai purvataram? Uh, what is that? Karma vishaya. With reference to karma, kashchit samshayah api asti. What is that samshaya? So Shankara gives the Sambandha saying that Bhagwan is saying it, I can act on that. Why are you bringing Purvatarai? Madhusudanji gives the Sambandha to say, what is the Sanshaya around karma? That you have to elaborate it by saying, you have to reinforce it. Nirpadnasi means you have to assert the point that as people in the past did. Was I logically okay? I mean, was I clear?
So is this to say basically that in the past, I just wanted to tell him that motivate him that there are people who followed this path and reached, so you can also do.
Yes. Also motivate, and also with the help of now Madhusudanji's point, we can understand that in every yoga, the eternal principles will not change. So, future we do not have. In the present times, people are following according to their ragadvesh and ahankar. You may not have an example in front of you of an Atmagyani. So, what should you do? Should you follow their ways? No. Follow the ways as in the past you have had examples. Stick to those examples.
Ji.
So I think Astyev, and then comes this verse, which is an absolutely um, Shastra says, every Vyakyakar says, this is a very good verse. 16 is actually setting the tone for the good verse to come. Is just an introduction. 16th, 17th are more introductory verses for the 18th verse, where the details are going to be elaborated. So I think we'll end the class here. 16th verse. Okay, let me just do a few. किङ्कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात् किङ्कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात् किं कर्म? What is karma? Kim akarma iti. Kim karma? What is karma? Kim akarma iti. What is akarma? In this manner, kavayaha api atra mohitaha. मोहित हैं, confused हैं. There is lack of knowledge. There is lack of clarity. There is lack of certain knowledge, accurate, precise. Lack of clarity. It's like they are confused. They are deluded. Who? Kavayaha api. Even those who are kavayaha in the literal sense means kavi. Kavi in the literal sense means seers. Seers means those who see beyond the evident sensory world. Means they are able to delve into the aprathyaksham. So even those who are thinkers, to them also, the topic of karma, what is karma and what is akarma, they are confused about. Tatte karma pravakshyami. Krishna says, I will tell you, pravakshyami, I will elucidate, elaborate clearly. Pravakshyami. What is karma? I will elaborately, clearly tell you what is karma. Yat gyatva, knowing which, mokshyase Kshase, you will also be freed. Of what? Ashubhat. From all that is inauspicious. From Ashubh. What is Ashubh? Inauspicious.
Ah,
Pap. Very good. A little, extend it a little more. What is Ashubhat? Is it only Pap? What is actually Ashubh? Ashubh means not desired. Pap, yes, you're right. But that's the first meaning. Extend that meaning a little more. No. Dukh, very good. And what is Dukh? Excellent. Transmigration, samsar, rebirth. Rebirth. Dukh is same. It's called Dukhalaya because that pap is Dukh. Absolutely correct. And that is Janma as karma phal. Correct. Transmigration, rebirth. That is, you will get freed of rebirth. You'll get freed of this transmigration. You will get freed of punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Because you're freed of karma phal. Means I will give you the knowledge of what is karma, knowing which you will be freed of Ashubh. This explanation we will take up next time. Okay. Uh, let's end here. What is the date today? 10th. सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथ्वी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं शोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति
Recording stopped.
Ji, just a question. If you do any karma with in the karam type of karma you, right? So that also does not bound you, right? It frees you, right?
Relatively.
Okay, so the verse that we are going to learn about here, we will talk about how it is you completely. Will it be different from?
No. Let's do the verse. There's obviously something to be known which will help us do the karma better, give more clarity about it. So only when we do the verse, you'll get it clearer. Okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone. Hari Om. Thank you so much.
धन्यवाद दीप्ति जी.
Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Deepti ji. Hari.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, whatever sticks to you. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you always for commenting and listening, especially to all of you who are following here. Thank you.